I'm Sean Thomas, and this is Local Flight, a show where I travel around to some of the best bars in the country to meet amazing mixologists and challenge them to create innovative cocktails using unique local ingredients. In this episode, we're turning a soda fountain staple into a cutting-edge craft cocktail. New York has a way of balancing cutting edge with classic, and that's exactly what Pouring Ribbons aims to do. Behind the bar, owner Joaquin Simo uses art and science to mix the old with the new. Hey.
Hey.
Joaquin.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Sean. Pleasure to meet you as well.
Pleasure.
Very excited to be here. Talk to me about just in general what you guys do here at Pouring Ribbons.
I think if we have to sum up what we do, it's conviviality and deliciousness. We've got a concise menu of about 30 drinks, 15 house, 15 classics, and we've mapped those out on a little matrix, more or less a Cartesian plane, that goes from spiritus to refreshing, comforting to adventurous. And that gives our guests a chance to figure out what drink might be right for them.
And these are all variations and originals that you guys have come up with in-house?
Yes.
That's great. Well, I'd love to try something.
We'll get started with the best-selling drink from our first menu. And more or less, this is a bourbon Mai Tai with a couple bourbons doing the work of the usual rums, and perhaps most importantly, a corn milk syrup. We call this guy the dueling banjos. We've just got a little bit of cracked ice here. We wanted something a little more rustic than crushed ice. We're gonna start with 3/4 of an ounce of this corn milk syrup.
And how do you make the corn milk syrup?
We just take fresh raw corn right off the cob, run it through an extractor, and fine strain that, and then we just do equal parts corn milk to white sugar. A little curacao in there, a little bit of fresh lemon juice.
Okay.
And now the whiskeys.
2 different styles of bourbon?
2 different styles. We will have one wheated bourbon and one with a higher rye content. So we've got one that's a little smoother, a little rounder, another one that's got a little more spice to it.
Great.
Right there, you can see the origin of the bar's name. When alcohol moves through the air, it looks like you're pouring a ribbon.
I see what you mean.
And this does get a rather elaborate garnish. We're gonna take a channel knife and cut a really nice long swath of orange peel. In this case, we're going to knot it this way.
Wow.
Take a little bit of fresh mint, spank that to wake it up and to remind it how naughty it is. And now you are all ready.
Great. Well, Joaquin, thank you very much.
Cheers.
Cheers. That's delicious. The bourbons really offset each other. You get the creamy mouthfeel from the corn syrup that you made. Really subtle and not too sweet. Really nice complement between the curacao and the lemon to drive the acidity.
Outstanding. Well, we strive for balance.
This is fantastic, man.
Outstanding.
Solid
Glad
work.
you're enjoying
Cheers.
it.
Yeah. It's clear to me that you guys are really doing this beautiful dance between what's old school and cutting edge. You know, old school meets new school. I found some guys not too far from here called Brooklyn Pharmacy. And
You know those guys well. They're right in my neighborhood in Brooklyn.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. What I love about them is they're bringing back the soda fountain culture, which not a lot of people know about.
Our little club soda lines are actually directly from a soda fountain.
Really?
So yeah, you get club soda if you go this way.
Uh-huh.
And if I tilt it this way, it'll be a really thin, hard stream.
Wow. Do you use that stream for when you're doing fizzes or things like
Exactly
that?
what we use it for.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's really great.
Yeah, we love soda fountains.
In recent years, you'd be hard-pressed to find a soda fountain anywhere in the country, but Brooklyn Pharmacy is bringing it back in a big way. I met up with owner and head soda jerk Peter Freeman to get the scoop. I gotta tell you, this is my first time in a soda fountain.
Well, hopefully it's not your last.
Hopefully not. What's the drink? What do I get?
Well, I'd say, start from the top, you need to have an egg cream. It has very simple ingredients. Milk, seltzer, and syrup. And this is Fox's You-Bet syrup, which is a Brooklyn-made chocolate syrup since 1903.
Wow. Syrup's been around longer than both of us.
Not this syrup, though.
No.
We're not that vintage. So this is a classic
Wow.
Brooklyn chocolate egg cream.
There it is.
Right, you can see how they got a nice white top.
Yep.
You'll see there's a little bit of chocolate underneath.
Uh-huh.
And that's one of the reasons you don't ever serve it with a straw. But what you do serve it with is a pretzel.
A pretzel. So there's not even eggs
There's
in
no
cream.
eggs, there's no cream.
Why do you call it an egg cream if there's no eggs and cream in it?
I don't know, you got a better name?
No. chocolatey goodness. The combination between the seltzer and the chocolate make it almost malty. So Peter, did you always envision yourself opening up a soda fountain?
I like to make things. I like to make people happy. And this just seemed like a really nice, natural fit. And this building said, hey, you know, we need somebody. Like, you're the one. And I feel like it chose me as much as I chose it.
That's awesome. So this was a pharmacy once back in the day?
One of the last intact pharmacies in New York City. Because the pharmacists were the first people licensed to carry the gas to carbonate the water. And then once again, they kind of had another renaissance during Prohibition.
That makes sense.
When you threw everybody out of the bars, they had to go somewhere.
Right.
What happened was the bartenders kind of started taking jobs in soda fountains. So that's when you started getting more like fancy sodas, right? So they changed the soda fountain, and then when they left, I feel like they took part of the soda fountain with them. You know, in the same way that the barmen influenced the soda fountain influenced the barmen.
Why is it called a soda jerk?
No, because we're jerks. Well, you know, it comes from jerking seltzer, right? So this action right here.
The motion?
Exactly.
Well, I'd love to try one of the drinks off your menu if you don't mind making me something.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things we'll make is a hibiscus syrup. You know, all medicine started with botanicals. You know, it's something very natural in its origin, but also if you wanted to go and take that and put it into a cocktail, you could do some really wild, cool stuff with that.
Amazing.
Okay, so here's our hibiscus syrup. So it's hibiscus that we steep, right? And then when it's all cooled down, we put a lot of lemon juice in it, actually. We're gonna use a vanilla ice cream for this.
Makes sense.
But the ice cream that we use is made in the Hudson Valley. So you're gonna see it's gonna rise back up. Right, and that's one of the reasons we call it the pink poodle, is because when it comes up, it gives the appearance of
a big poofy pink poodle.
I had this guy come in, big Brooklyn guy, right? Big fella, right? And he orders this drink. He's like, so, you know, I'll have a pink poodle. So I serve it to him, I go back there and I say, you know, so how was it? Like, do you like it? He says, yeah, it was nice. It was like someone took a bouquet of flowers and shoved it right up my nose.
I'd say it's a bit better than a bouquet of flowers in the nose.
But shoved up your...
Yeah, he must have been having a bad day.
But you know, New Yorkers are really known for being brutally honest. Like, they'll tell you right what they think.
All right, Peter, so I'd love to take some of that hibiscus syrup with me back to the bar to see what he can do with it.
Yeah, sounds great.
All right,
you got it.
Great, awesome.
Okay.
That'll be plenty.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Peter, thanks for having me, and thank you for teaching me what it means to be a jerk. Following in the footsteps of history, I'm bringing a soda fountain ingredient back to the bar the same way it might have happened after Prohibition. What I've brought you here, this is made by steeping hibiscus tea and then reducing it into a hibiscus syrup.
Let's see what we're working with here.
Yeah.
That's gonna work. It's a little floral. It's got that nice balance between the sweet and the tart. Yeah, this is a great little modifier. Yeah. We're gonna do a nod to the classic soda fountain. So we're gonna start with one of the great ingredients that's been brought back, and you're starting to see in more craft cocktail bars, which is acid phosphate. But it's something that the soda jerks would use a lot in order to kind of give a lot of brightness. So we're just gonna take about a teaspoon of this.
Little goes a long way.
Oh yeah. We're gonna use a little bit of our grapefruit lime cordial. So we're just gonna do about a half an ounce of this because we really wanna feature this lovely hibiscus syrup. So we're gonna do about 1.25 ounces of that, just about there. And last but not least, a little Grey Goose vodka, about 2 ounces of that. Really, the vodka is just a flavor booster, right? And that's what vodka does so well, is it makes all the flavors that are around it really pop. Just a little bit of dramatic ice in there. Little bit of the soda water. This should have just a real pretty color. Oh yeah.
That it does.
This drink could still have a little bit more going on. So we're gonna take and make this a little bit more fun and cheeky. And we're gonna put a little bit of vanilla ice cream. And then just a few drops of Peychaud bitters.
Sure, Creole Space Bitter.
Yeah, just a little bit. And you're gonna get a little bit of that vanilla, a little bit of the anise. Good to go.
Amazing.
Cheers.
The hibiscus is right at the front. Not too acidic. Definitely nice effervescence. Yeah, the vanilla and the hibiscus are like 2 peas in a perfect pod, my friend.
Outstanding.
The last order of business, what do you call a drink like this?
We call it the pharmacy float.
definitely call it the pharmacy flow.
Yeah, a little nod to who brought us the hibiscus syrup to begin with.
That's right, the pharmacy flow.
So the pharmacy flow.
Joaquin, you, my
It's a pleasure.
friend, are a trendsetter. You guys are doing some amazing things here.
Pleasure's been ours. Thanks
Cheers.
again.
Thank you, Joaquin.
Cheers.
Take it easy. Join me next week in New York as we take Brooklyn's handmade pickles from the barrel to the bar. Make sure you check out our show sponsor, Grey Goose, and join me all season long as I travel around the country to make amazing cocktails.